King Lil Jay's manager. So there has been people been DMing me. People have been making videos. I just ran across a video. I'm actually supposed to be home. Supposed to be home right now. So, but when they actually took him to the penitentiary, then that's when everything gets out because it's public. But in reality, I'm gonna tell you the situation. It's a minor situation.
Hey man, stay safe world. You already know what's going on. We got to talk about the situation with Lil Jay, which he was basically arrested again after being caught in Indiana for some type of accusation, man. We're going to get right into it and the words that his manager basically talked about the case. But before we do, I'm going to need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. We're going to run this off. So let's go. So basically, Lil Jay's manager came out and sort of talked about the charges somewhat a little bit today, and he came on live and he basically talked about it. I mean, he didn't really say what the charges were, but I guess just based off information that I found on the internet, he wasn't actually caught in Chicago. He's apparently caught in Indiana, which I guess apparently is a red flag because he's out of state, but maybe he was able to like make some type of arrangement or something because of the fact that Indiana is so close to Chicago. Maybe he was able to move there beforehand and that's where he's staying at. I don't really know, but he was basically in Indiana and he got caught for some type of situation. I mean, it was reported online that it was some type of gun like situation, which is definitely not good, but his manager seems pretty hopeful. He said that Lil Jay is probably going to be out in the next week or so, basically after his bond hearing. But in case you didn't know already, Lil Jay, he spent mad years in jail basically for a whole situation that occurred in Chicago where he was accused of murder, and he basically was able to get out recently. And after coming out, he had like a huge like comeback and dropped hella songs. It was trending for a while, was dropping hella music, and then right after all this, like not even 3 weeks later, he basically gets caught. Some people are saying that it was with a gun. His manager, on the other hand, is saying that he didn't get caught with anything. Like it's like a confusing situation because his manager is basically going against the facts. But it's like, why are they holding him then if he didn't get caught with anything? Unless if it was just like reckless driving or some shit. And no one is able to find the most recent mugshot. Everyone's posting the old one, so I honestly don't even know what's good. But his manager is saying basically that he got caught with nothing on him and was totally like, I guess there was no gun involved or anything like that, which is definitely a good sign. And he's saying that he's gonna be out in a week, but I guess that's like the confusing part of it, because if you didn't know already, Lil Jay's on parole, so any type of parole violation basically fucks you over, and you don't want to get a parole violation because it's like you don't want to have to be sentenced for the amount of time that you were supposed to be sentenced on like the thing that you got out of jail for and the reason why you're on parole. So it's definitely, regardless, a precarious situation, you feel me? I feel like the biggest problem with it that everyone has on the internet is everyone's telling him to move away, everyone's telling him you gotta get out, because the whole reason, I guess people are thinking that type of advice because they heard the information that he apparently had a gun, even though his manager, like I said before, said that he didn't have a gun. But basically, I feel like the biggest problem with that is being on parole. I'm pretty sure he has to stay within a certain place. Like, he can't just like move around all freely and shit. Like, he has to like report where he is and shit like that and be in the area. So it basically makes him a sitting duck if anyone's able to find where he lives and shit. Like, because sometimes, I don't know, for every state it's kind of different, but for a lot of states I guess that information can be readily available. But if people find out where you live, and it's like Chicago, all his friends and everyone that he known basically got shot and killed, so it's like, what are you expecting, like him to not have a gun? So, you know, it's basically like a double-edged sword, especially when he's dissing everybody and rapping. I mean, now he's not really dissing too crazy. I mean, mostly just like Dirk and shit, but he already has hella street beef. So riding around with no like strap in Chicago for him is basically out of the question unless you want him to be on a suicide mission. And it's like he just got out of jail. It's not like he's doing hella shows and shit. He's probably getting a bag off of YouTube, not gonna lie. But apparently to his lawyer, he said that his bond was $5,000 and they got that, so they're waiting to see what's gonna happen next. Man, I don't really even know that much about like Chicago's like law and shit like that, and obviously you need to be a lawyer to really fucking be able to comment on the law side of things. But I could just tell you right now that it's probably not a good thing that if he did get caught with the gun, being a fucking parole is definitely not good. Like, imagine him having to face 10 more years after getting out of a long ass prison sentence. So, you know, it's just, people say it's not smart, but at the end of the day, what can he really do? You know, like, he can only do so much, man. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think about this shit and what his manager said. Let me know what y'all think. Real say shit. You already know what's going on. Peace.